Parents can provide powerful verbal and non-verbal messages that limit and even prohibit what you do in life. These messages are planted well before you have the capacity to challenge and reject them. These powerful parental messages are called injunctions, and this concept comes from the school of psychotherapy called Transactional Analysis, or TA. In this video, I'll explore the psychological impact of injunctions and how to escape them using Redecision. Let's start by looking at an example. Stuart has experienced depression for as long as he can remember. He has taken an overdose twice and regularly self-harms. Due to the severity of his depressive episodes, he struggles holding down a job and battles financial issues. Stuart's mother had him when she was in her first year of university. She dropped out of university and never let Stuart forget that he ruined her life. She would say, "I should never have had you. I could have done so much more with my life." So Stuart received a don't exist injunction, and it's one of the most lethal injunctions to receive. An injunction is basically a command, directive or order that adversely affects your sense of self. And as a child, you made an unconscious decision in response to the injunctions you received. So another person receiving the don't exist injunction may make the decision, "You're wrong, I am valuable and I do have the right to exist." Others may create a fantasy parent figure who really does love them. Let's look at another example of an injunction. Tina ran a busy human resources business and looked after her 3 children. She worked 7 days a week and felt she should be strong for her family and her staff. She was a very solemn woman whose entire sense of self was related to doing and achieving. Tina was brought up by her single mother, and at the age of only 8 years old, her mother developed a physical disability. As a result, Tina decided, "I better grow up quickly and take charge." Tina was expected to complete all domestic chores: cooking, cleaning, gardening and shopping. Her mother gave Tina lots of praise for taking on such adult responsibilities, which reinforced the "don't be a child" injunction. The transactional analysis therapist Muriel James said injunctions were kind of like magic spells cast by the parent onto the child. They form the cornerstone of your life script. Your life script is an unconscious life plan made in early childhood. And a key feature of the life script is that it's decisional. This means it's based on certain decisions that you make in early childhood about yourself, others, and the world around you. So an injunction comes from the child ego state of the mother or father to the child ego state of the young person. The child ego state simply means the child part of the personality. In addition to your child ego state, you also have a parent and adult ego state. So this simply means the parent and adult parts of your personality. I have an in-depth video on ego states and the life script, and the links are in the description below. The TA therapists Bob and Mary Goulding realised that decisions based on injunctions are made from a feeling position rather than a thinking position. Therefore, in order to move out of the life script, the client must reconnect with the child ego state feelings they experienced at the time of the early decision, finish the business by expressing those feelings, and change the early decision for a new and more appropriate redecision. Thus, the Redecision School of Transactional Analysis was born. The Redecision School combines the theory of TA with techniques from Gestalt psychotherapy. So the client is invited to engage in a range of fantasy and visualisation techniques such as chair work. In Redecision work, clients re-experience childhood scenes in order to appreciate their childhood strengths, to recover from trauma, and to design new ways of coping with problems. So going back to my example of Stuart and his don't exist injunction, the redecision process begins with Stuart getting in contact with his child ego state. So during psychological therapy, Stuart said, "I had an awful mother who told me I should not exist, and I had no right to just be." Be there, see your mother and tell her, "You made me feel I should not exist, that I had no right to just be." Imagine your mother is sitting in that empty chair and tell her, "When I started school, my teacher liked me. She smiled at me and asked how I was. All you did was scowl and put me down. It's not fair. Hey, it's not fair. You should have carried on with your studies, but you decided not to. I have a right to exist. You should take responsibility of your own life for once. So you can see how the therapist allowed Stuart to go back into the fantasy and early childhood scene and redecide. It is this act of redeciding that enables the client to take charge of their life. Redecision therapy is a dynamic therapy and clients can make lasting change very quickly. Now, if you'd like to find out more about using chairwork to redecide an earlier childhood decision, please view my advanced chairwork video, which is on the screen now. And if you'd like me to make more videos like this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you soon.